Welcome back to another action figure review. In this review, we're going to be taking a look at Bossfight Studios' Vitruvian H.A.C.K.S Series 2 Samhain, the Feared Dorcha. This action figure is done in a 1/18 scale, and it comes in collector-friendly packaging. Let's start off by taking a look at the packaging. On the top left, we have the Vitruvian H.A.C.K.S logo. If you're not familiar with Vitruvian H.A.C.K.S, H.A.C.K.S stands for Highly Articulated Character Kit System. The bottom left of the packaging, we have the Bossfight Studio logo. And these are adult collectibles for ages 15 and up. In the center of the packaging, we have a very nice artwork of Samhain. It looks amazing. Just below the character, we have Samhain, the Fear Dorcha nameplate. And on the far right, we have the clamshell with the action figure and his accessories. There's nothing to see on top and bottom of these packagings, but on the back, we do have a bio, a kind of like a file card type presentation. So I'll hold and so you guys can pause and read this documentation if you're interested. So I'll hold it for about 5 seconds to give you the opportunity to pause the video and read about Samhain. Okay, let's move on. So from the center to the far right of the packaging, we have "There's no limits" at the top. They recommend you collect them all. There are 8 other offerings from Bossfight Studios. Here in the center, we have some of the employees from Bossfight Studios who's responsible for the card art, the character bios, and other parts of the Bossfight Studio business. Here in the bottom right, we have a QR code, a UPC, and a Bossfight Studios logo. So like I said, these are done in a collector-friendly packaging. How do you open these up? Pretty easy. You just pick a side. You can use this side or this side. You just unfold the plastic underneath and slide off the card. And that's what that looks like without the clamshell. Very nice cardstock. And then you have your clamshell, and just pop this piece out. Sometimes pieces do pop out. Comes with the territory. Just gotta slide that back in for temporarily. There you can see what it looks like in the clamshell. And then on the back, there's no tape and no ties on the figure, but there's usually a little baggie under the feet, so you always want to check for that. So let's go ahead and get him out of his clamshell and see what he looks like. So here's Samhain outside of the packaging. This is actually going to be one of my favorite sculpts, favorite designs that Bossfight Studios has put out. This looks incredible. So let's take a look at the figure and all of his features. Let's take a look at that head sculpt. He has like a light blue skin tone, black eyebrows, his eyes are painted very nicely. He has a braided goatee and is black. On the one side of his face and side of his head, he has some tattoos in a darker blue. Looks great. The other side of his face and side of his head there's no tats at all. Very nice. On his shoulder, he has some very nice gunmetal looking armor. It's like he has some shoulder pads stacked on top of each other down to the elbow, and a very large pad on his shoulder. That's attached to brown straps with a ring here on his chest and a small shoulder pad on the other shoulder. And the straps seem to come down across his back and around under his arm. On his chest, he is sporting some very interesting tattoos, just like on the side of his head. Looks really cool. And then on his arm, he has some more tattoos on his upper arm. And then on his, he has some gunmetal gauntlets, some brown straps around to hold his gauntlet on his arm. And over here on this arm, we have a different gauntlet. This one has more detail than this one on this side. And we have a tattoo here on his hand. He has a very well detailed and sculpted belt, or should I say belts. He has multiple belts around his waist. And let's see what he has. 1, 2, 3, 4 belts, some buckles. It's like he has some keys right here. Then we have some other garments, maybe leaves under the bottom. We have a brown little baggie, maybe full of gold or rare materials. We have some feathers. On the back, we have another one of those little bags. So we have some more keys. We have a pouch, some more feathers. And on this side, let's see what we have. Something right there. Just like a piece sticking up. It's very soft, movable. It's like a burr or something. He has very cool, I love the shade of green for his pants. It looks great. On this leg, he has a brown strap holding on another piece of armor. And on his side, he has a brown strap holding on a brown pouch. Down on his shins, he does have some brown wraps all the way around down to his ankle. Then he has brown shoes on. Overall, this is a very nice design, very, very wicked looking figure. This will definitely add some spice to your collection if you have this figure. So in the back, we do have another large tattoo. We have a hole in the back for like a backpack if you wanted to add something to it. Very nice looking. Incredibly, I love this, how this belt's all painted. It looks great. Okay, let's take a look at the figure's articulation. Let's just start with his head. He does look up a good bit. He looks down. He has the side, and it will rotate. But you gotta get past all his armament with his black OT. Now both arms are the same for articulation, but this arm's going to be more hindered because of his loadout. So we'll take a look at this arm here. So I'm going to rotate 360 all the way around. We'll raise up. He has bendable elbow. Get you 90 degrees. Let's see, his wrist is articulated up and down, and it rotates 360 all the way around. But the gauntlet kind of gets away a little bit, but you can get it. Very nice. There is also a elbow 360 rotation there. Now, obviously the articulation arm carries over to this arm if you remove all the gear. But with the gear on, you're going to get about up to there. On his front, on his side, you're going to get about right to there. And his articulation for his elbow, it has a 360. And you get 90 with the gauntlet on. This hand is 360 and also does the up and down feature on the wrist. Looks really good. So he has an ab crunch. He does look back. We have a side to side. We have a waist swivel all the way around right here, if you're interested in that. Some Exorcist stuff here for Samhain. And he sits like a champ. See here, let's get his arms out of the way. He can do a pretty good split. And he can do a split more in the front and back, and then his back of his leg hits his backside. He has double joint knees on both legs, so here we have 190-degree bend, and if we bend this other joint, we get more than you would ever need. You might be able to get just a tad bit more, but it's kind of stuck. And if you notice, it looks like one of his pads came off his leg. It looks like he's just pegged on. It was on there pretty good. Oh yeah, it just stays right on there. It says peggable armor. That's good. For his feet, they do pivot down, rotate 360. And we have a pivot up a little bit until it catches the bottom of the pants. Overall, fantastic figure. Great articulation, great paint, great design, great materials. Highly recommend this. This is a really cool and fascinating looking character. So let's take a 360 look at the figure one last time, and then we will take a look at the accessories, not the articulation. We just did that. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. Alright, so Samhain comes with an alternate head, as you can see. This head is pretty much the same head that you have, but this one has brown straps in a shape of an X across his eyes and around the back of his head. And is tied in the back. Let's take a look and see how that looks on the figure. And here he is with his alternate head. Thinks he's trying to pull a jinx when he puts his blindfolds on and fight blinded. Nice alternative to the head that he comes with. For me, both head sculpts are amazing, but for me, I think I like this head better because it has such a great presence and it's done so well. So, but who knows? Maybe we'll swap it out. All right, let's take a look at another accessory. So he comes with another set of hands. We have a tattoo on this one and a tattoo on that one. And they are more of a grabbing type hand. And they put these on this heat up your joints, pull these straight out. You can swap them out pretty good. And here is his Warhammer. This looks incredible. This is incredibly sculpted. Very nice. And let's look at the head of that hammer. Like a Celtic sign, maybe. We have the wood grain with the studs. Some silver here. And on the bottom, a more of a mustard wrap. That's incredible. The level of detail for this is insane. This is going to be one of my favorite accessories. Very nice weapon. Amazing. So let's take a look at it in his hand. And here he is. He holds it perfectly. Ready to take on all of his enemies. Looks fantastic with all that armor. Very nice. Looks great. One really striking action figure. This is just too cool. Very nice. Alright, so let's take a look at some more of his accessories. Here we have his throwing star, a ninja star, Dorcha ninja star. Is that a thing? Don't know. But this is pretty wicked looking. Done in like an aged steel color. Man, look at the sculpt work on that. This is definitely one of his throwing projectiles. Wow, pretty incredible. It's like it's aerodynamic and everything. Very cool. So it looks like, I mean, for this hand, for the alternate hand, you can definitely get some pretty cool poses. And you can put the thumb through the hole and make him hold it really dynamic looking pose. That's what it looked like in his hand. If you wanted to put him in display with this in his hand. Kind of interesting because of an open hand. And of course, you can go ahead and he'll hold anything in his gripping hand. Just got to get it in there however you see fit. And you can hold it. But it looks more dynamic when you use the open hand than a gripping hand. So let's take a look and see what's in that little baggie that was under his feet. Alright, so we have that little baggie. Looks like we have a figure stand and another weapon. Nice. So we have a figure stand, which we're used to seeing for the standard Bossfight Studios figure. It comes with all the figures. And it looks like we have one of those throwing stars on a string. So on this side, we have a handle and a spike. And on this side, we have another one of those stars. So you have one with a string and one without. Actually, the one without is smaller than the one with the string. Yep, it's a tad bit smaller. So I guess in battle he can swing this around like this and see who you can catch on the battlefield. Then if you get too close, he can stick you with that. See how well he holds it. And here he is holding it. And I'm sure he'll be spinning around for some battle sequences. Maybe you can throw it around his neck. And put this in his hand. If you feel like it. Whatever you can come up with that looks pretty cool. Or we can flip this thing around upside down and spin it, and then have that at the ready to pierce somebody with. Pretty wild, right? So when we start looking at the figure, we've seen this little spur here that's flexible. It may be for something like that, but it's not very secure on there. So, but it hangs on there. But it's going to fall off. But that's an option, I guess. I thought that was worth pointing out. So overall, this is an amazing figure. So we have fantastic plastic, fantastic sculpt, great articulation, great materials. Still believe the Vitruvian hacks have the best plastic. Wouldn't hurt to just to heat it real quick, but you don't have to. I mean, it's recommended. I mean, if anything, it's 3 to 5 seconds if you wanted this to be safe. But you don't have to. These are ready to go outside the packaging. Amazing sculpt work, amazing detail, great paint, great value. These retail for $24.99. Very nicely done. This will definitely become one of your favorite figures. Just the overall aesthetics and the look of this figure is just incredible. Highly recommend these, without a doubt. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this look at Samhain. If you haven't enjoyed it, please consider subscribing. Become a subscriber to my channel. I do reviews for lots of collectibles and Hot Wheels, stuff like that. That way you'll get notified whenever I upload another video. Please like, share, and subscribe. All that great stuff. Comment down below if you would like. Any questions, comments, anything you want to share to the community. It'd be really appreciated from everybody. I wish you guys happy hunting. Have fun. Keep collecting. And we will see you in our next review.